Good morning, gang. Happy Friday morning. All right, we'll start with a riddle for you this morning. What takes forever to get, but only a second to lose? Not a real difficult riddle. My answer to that one would be trust. Yeah. If you got to pick the greatest casualty of 21st century society, it's trust. I mean, honestly, answer yourself. How many people do you truly trust that if something was terrible in your life, you could go to them and they'd help? In an SHTF situation, somebody that would be on your side, you're risking death and you trust them to protect you. I'm betting most people could count that amount of people on one hand. And you don't know where. You know, some people are great at gaining your trust and then losing it, commonly known as con men. Okay. You look at what's going on here lately. I mean, in the last couple of days, the Michigan football coach has been arrested. Supposedly he's been stalking and was trying to sexually assault one of his fellow athletic department members. There's 100 or so kids on the football team that had complete trust in him. Guaranteed they weren't just talking to the coach about, gee, do I go left or go right on this play? They're like, Coach, I got problems with my girlfriend. Coach, I got problems with my roommate. Coach, I'm having problems with class. And they went to that person as a place of trust. We could talk about food. Just this morning, we've got a report now that there's powdered cinnamon that is being recalled. Do we trust that company anymore? Probably not. Okay, their quality standards aren't that good. Forget about politicians. You haven't been able to trust a politician since Adam and Eve. Okay, but yeah, who do you trust? We all have experienced situations in our life where our trust in somebody has been completely devastated. Boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, parent, whatever. And you go, how in the hell, if there was anything that happened, I would have never guessed this in a million years. And then most of us, the ones who were the truster, okay, we trusted the other person, we're the ones that get left picking up all the pieces from the road of destruction they've created. It may not be physical, but it's emotional. Oh my God, I can't believe I was taken. Or, oh my God, I can't believe this person did this. And look at the path of destruction in their wake. Look at how it affected that person, that person, that person. Sure, karma's a bitch. Karma will come back and bite you in the ass. Those people that conned other people and thought, hey, I'm going to get away with all of this, eventually it catches up to them. And then they have to pay the piper. But that doesn't absolve them whatsoever from the agony that they've put other people through. I've got a situation right now that hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday afternoon. Doesn't affect me as directly as it used to, but there's bigger issues at play. And when I got the news yesterday, I would love to see the picture of my face because it was complete and utter shock. of somebody that I once trusted and other people I know trusted and all got stabbed in the back. You put this into current society as to who do you trust if things get bad? And I'm not talking about if things get bad that we get into a shooting war or something. Can you trust your neighbor to be on your side? Is there anybody that you know that would be on your side, but when the food gets low, they're like, well, you know what, maybe I'll go to the other side because they've got food and my family's hungry, right? How much do you trust them? There are very few people, for most of us, that we have complete trust in. I've got a couple. Okay. You can count them on one hand. There's a lot of other people that I give conditional trust. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt until you prove me wrong. You know, one of the mantras I've always lived by, personally, is I can be your best friend. Screw me over, and I will be your worst enemy. Okay. I'm not the type of person to lay down and cower in the corner. You want to fight, you better bring everything you got. Okay? Because if you screw me over, there's going to be hell to pay. And I know a lot of people are like that. But think about this in your circle. Hell, you can think about this in your family. God knows we've all got people in our families that are snake oil salesmen. Certainly in our associations with others. Do you trust your boss? Do you trust your coworker? Hell, how many stories do we hear about the mailman threw mail off on the side of the road? You can't even trust the mailman to deliver the mail. Okay. FedEx drivers stealing packages, porch pirates stealing packages, those are your neighbors. Grocery store clerks with their hand in the till, or bartenders or waitresses. I'm demanding 35% in a tip. If you don't give it to me, I'm just going to kind of pad your bill and hope you don't notice. Right? It's one of those things that's like always check your bill in a restaurant. You'd be amazed how many times you find it wasn't all there. You know, everything that you're paying for, you didn't order. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer on this one, but this was the first casualty of liberal society, of progressive society, of the me of the last two generations. I mean, basically, at this point, anybody under about 40 was only concerned about themselves. And you've all seen the videos. I would never date a man that makes less than $400,000. Enjoy your cats, lady. Okay? You don't have to be rich to be trustworthy. Actually, the rich people are less trustworthy. How much trust do you have in Bill Gates or George Soros? You know, right? They're uber wealthy. I don't have a whole lot of trust in Elon Musk, and he's the richest man in the world. I have a feeling somehow he's going to turn around and screw us too. Again, like I said, politicians, forget it. But this is something that is a casualty of the culture wars that we are in now. Do you feel safe walking down the street? No, we talk about it all the time. Make sure you're carrying a gun, have your head on a swivel. Why are you doing that? Because you don't trust society. You drive down the road, man, your head is in those mirrors constantly. Not because you're worried about missing a turn or something. It's because you don't trust any of the other drivers on the road. As I've been teaching Mrs. P how to drive, I said my first cardinal rule on the road is you drive expecting everybody else to do something stupid. What does that mean? That means I don't trust a single driver out there. Maybe it's a makeup of our generation, of Gen X. Gen X is notoriously skeptical about other people. Society has pretty much proved we've been right in that skepticism. And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. The old saying, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. No. Keep the people you trust close. Anybody you don't, get as far away from as you can. Pinball out.